Hey everyone, it's Dr. Detroit here. The doctor is in, and welcome back to the SRX. I forgot the name of this game. I think it's called SRX Superstar Racing Experience, the game. And we are about to do race number 4 of 6. You guys might remember that in our last race, we went to Eldora Raceway, which was another dirt track. And we took home a great victory over Elio Castroneves and Tony Stewart. And those are the race results right over there. But as we take a look at the point standings, we currently have a 6-point lead ahead of Elio Castroneves, which means we can't necessarily relax. We gotta stay up on our game as we head into our next race, which is taking place at the Lucas Oil Raceway up in Indiana, or as many people know it as, Indianapolis Raceway Park. And then after that, we only have 2 races left. We'll have Slinger Speedway, which is an extreme short track. Now thinks it's a super speedway. And then we'll head to the Nashville Fairgrounds to crown the champion. Hopefully that is us. But anyway, let's go ahead and get right into the racing action. I will meet you guys in the paddock, and we'll go over a few notes momentarily. Okay, so we did a few practice laps, and the car felt really good out there. We set it up a little bit looser than what we had at Stafford, so hopefully that will help us in this race. This is going to be another fun track because Lucas Oil Raceway, aka Indianapolis Raceway Park, is actually the same track that the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and Xfinity Series used to race at many different times. It's also been used for an event called the Night Before the 500, where the smaller divisions like USAC, Indy, I think it's USF 2000, as well as also the Pro Mazda division, raced their race there and basically raced 500 miles on a little short track the night before the big Indianapolis 500. So our main objective here is to just finish ahead of Elio Castroneves at all costs and just have some fun, because I think this is going to act like a super speedway. The way that this track is set up, it's going to look longer than it does in real life, but I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So this could be a really cool race. So if you're ready and you look ready, let's get into it. And it looks like we are going to start second, just outside of Awesomevale from Dawsonvale. This is going to be a lot of fun. Here we go. Pace car is in. Heat number 1 here at IRP is green. Oh, we got off to a monstrous start right there. It's a 5-minute race, almost a 6-minute race. Wow. Car got wicked tight right, or actually just had a little moment there. As now we fall back into the 5th position already, 4th. Oh my god, everybody is just giving us a lot of grief here as Scott Speed put us up at the high side. So we'll put us back into the 6th position. Let's see if we can get around some of these people. There's Willie T. Ribbs. He's gonna go to the high side. In front of us is Ernie Francis Jr. Plus we also have Bobby Labonte in front of us. Marco Andretti up there on the high side. He's in that black machine. Here comes, I can't tell who that is. That could be Bobby Labonte going to the race lead. Or it could be Michael Waltrip. I'm not 100% sure, but Bill Elliott starts to fall back. And now, yes it is. It is Bobby Labonte that is up there at the front. Now we just got to figure out how to get around these folks. Let's see what we can do. But boy, our car just got super loose at that point. Oh, Bobby Labonte just went for a spin. That puts Ernie Francis Jr. to the front. And we get a yellow flag, but we get to start second, so that means we will get to see if we can redo the opening of the race again. So here we go, everyone. Let's try this again and see if we can get a much better start. Here we go. Green flag is out. Yeah, we got us a much better start here, which is great news. Okay, so we just have to turn the car just a hair for this one, because you can see how loosey-goosey this thing really is. But also because we were starting on the outside right there as Ernie Francis Jr. tried to make a move to the inside, but couldn't get it done. He spins out, and we're not going to see a caution, so we stay green. But that gives us the bottom. We need the bottom as much as possible. So anyway, here we are at IRP, and you can see that this place, even though it is a short track, it kind of thinks it's more like a super speedway. So this is kind of the super speedway of the series. So currently in this heat, we lead with Bobby Santos the third, currently in second. Third is Scott Speed, fourth is Marco Andretti, and fifth is Tony Stewart. It's the first time I'm actually back doing this type of thing in quite a long time. It may seem like that there was like a week gap between these races, but it was actually more than that, especially with when we started recording these things. And also the lap times here are actually fairly short. In fact, if we take a look at the graph over here, you'll see that an 18:53 is what we put up. See all the tire marks already, and we haven't even gone to heat number 2 yet, nor have we got to the race. To the main event, that is. Right now, it looks like everybody is just kind of calming right now, and just, you know, saving up their stuff. But for me, we want to make sure that we get enough, that we get the maximum points possible, because, you know, next up is going to be Slinger Speedway, and then the other race is going to be Nashville Fairgrounds, where we could get the championship if we play our cards right. Now, normally at this point in the real world, they would throw a yellow flag, which is called the fun flag, which would stack everybody up, and then we'd be good to go. We make our way down the corner and onto the front straightaway. 2.5 minutes remain, less than 2.5 minutes remaining, and you can see that everybody is now kind of spread out a bit. And that's kind of what happens with some of these cars, is that we get a little bit spread out, and you know, I think that our cars are actually handling a lot better as we continue through here. Indianapolis Raceway Park also was one of the last places that the late great Jason Leffler won at, and it was also the racetrack where part of the racetrack's lighting system, you can see on the inside there, actually went kaput one year. And so for about, I'd say about 45 minutes to an hour, I believe it was the Craftsman Truck Series or Xfinity Series race that had to be under a red flag while they waited for the lights to come back on. Of course, they had the outside lights here, but the inside lights help to illuminate this track a lot better, and you'll see that when we get into heat number 2. Well, the car seems to have settled out now, and now we're into the 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in this race. So once we get down to 0, as you guys know, there will be the 2 to go sign, which will then become the white flag lap. And for this, and pretty much at this point, as long as we don't make any mistakes, we're probably going to start last because they will invert the field. So whoever finished last in heat number 1 gets to start first in heat number 2, and then we'll see if we can work our way up again. No settings were changed between race 2 and race number 3, so we're still working with the same settings that we used at Stafford. I think the only thing I did do is that I made the AI a little bit harder to work with, because after we put the whooping on them at Eldora and at Knoxville, we kind of needed them to be a little bit better, but right now everybody's just kind of spread out at this point. All right, now here we go. We are coming around, and I think once we come across the line, there's still going to be a few seconds remaining. Now it's going to be 2 laps to go at the line. There it is. And we're coming up on Willie T. Ribbs, who will be the pole sitter for the second heat, but we'll be coming around to take the white flag lap here. Oh, he's going to cause us a little bit of a problem, but we will go up to the high side and go and blow right past him. So we got 1 lap to go in this stage. Car is really, really loose right now, but hopefully that doesn't hurt us in the race itself. There's Bill Elliott, the pole sitter. But here we go. We're coming out of turn 3 and 4. And we will make ourselves the winners of heat number 1. So that's going to help us. That is going to help us tremendously. So there's how the field will stack up. And we'll be at the back with Scott Speed and Bobby Santos and Bobby Labonte as well. So this is going to be quite interesting. You can see that Michael Waltrip finished 8th, and some of the open wheel guys will now be near the front. Alright, here we go. Heat number 2. You can see that it's now gotten a little darker. So we're going to start it up here for heat number 2, and it's green, green, green. Oh, look at the run we got on the high side. Now remember, we have to be really careful here, so we're going to have to just be aware here and try not to cause any problems. So right now we're back here in last place, but we can start to make ourselves up some grid positions. But we just got to let these guys thin out a little bit. Ooh, this is going to go 3 wide here. Oh my goodness, everybody's parking the bus as Marco Andretti is going to fall back a little bit. There's Bobby Santos right there in that number 22 machine. God, stop getting loose on me, bro. Man, just look at everybody here. Ernie Francis Jr. way to the high side. Let's see if we can take the bottom here and make something happen. We do. We get around Paul Tracy. Now we're going to get around Bill Elliott. Bobby Santos III is right up there to the high side. There's Tony Stewart. Willie T. Ribbs falls back. So we make the move on Tony Stewart. We can. There's Scott Speed, who tried to give us a little bit of a hard time. But look who's leading right now. That is Helio Castroneves. Whoa. Oh, man. Car got wicked loose right there. Because I think what happened was that Tony Stewart gave us a tiny little tap, and we smacked the wall pretty hard. But that shouldn't harm us. The car right now feels okay. Right now, there's a great battle for the race lead between Bob Labonte and Helio Castroneves, and it looks like Bob Labonte has gotten it. Now we're going to get around Michael Waltrip here. This is a battle for the 4th position. Now we got Bob Labonte leading, Helio Castroneves 2nd, Scott Speed 3rd, and we are 4th. What's interesting, though, is that seeing Bob Labonte out front, this is something that Bob Labonte used to do back when he was racing in the Cup Series. He held off a hard-charging Dale Earnhardt Jr. at Pocono in 2001, and he also was the 2000 Cup Series champion, so he started the decade, the new decade anyway, with a championship as we get around Helio Castroneves. That's for 3rd. Now remember, wherever we finish in this race, the game will take our average finishing position between the 2 races, and that will be where we end up starting the race. So let's see if we can catch Bob Labonte here, because I feel like Bobby's going to be very difficult to beat, especially with the fact that we had to come from the back, as we currently are stalking Scott Speed right now, who is currently in front of us in 2nd place. Scott Speed is actually a former F1 driver, former NASCAR driver, former IndyCar driver. He pretty much drove anything that he could get his hands on, as now we make the pass on him for 2nd. Now let's see if we can chase down Bob Labonte and see how good this car is. Because right now we have about a 1.4 second deficit that we need to catch up to with Bob Labonte. As you can see, we're slowly starting to close the gap a little bit. In fact, we're probably going to end up closing the gap about 0.2 a lap, possibly, but I don't know. However, right now it seems that we're kind of plateaued right here in 2nd place. I don't think that damage really had anything to do with it, but currently there's a 1.3 second gap still, which is now down to 1.2 seconds. So we're slowly catching him, but will we have enough time to pass him and win heat number 2? That's going to be the next question. We got 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining now. I love the sky effects in this game because they are absolutely phenomenal. They are absolutely phenomenal. Plus, the game itself is super, super cool. In fact, this game kind of came and went, but if you ever get a chance to play this on Steam, or even the PlayStation, get it. Get it, because it's kind of fun. Sure it has some of the old drivers from the first season, but I'm sure that if you get the PC version, there's possibly a mod out there where you can actually mod this thing to have the drivers that race in the SRX season this year. Because we're starting ours kind of late. I mean, the real SRX series wrapped up its series about a couple weeks ago, and we're just on race number 4 of this one. We're slowly closing the gap on By the Bonnie. It's about a 7/10 of a second lead that he has, but we are slowly inching closer. But I think we might run out of time here to do anything with him. But let's see what happens as we continue to stalk him. We got about 1:05 remaining before we head into the main event. Now, in some cases, we could even, hang right here and think about the big picture, because we know we're going to be good in the race, and probably we'll get a really good starting position. We'll probably be second in the race, or I mean, in the order for how we'll start the main event, or we could get pole again. I don't know. I'm not sure how they would how this would be calculated. Starting to catch up on some lap traffic, but now we got just 30 seconds remaining. Now make that 27, as we've now closed within 3/10 of By the Bonnie. I did skirt up the track a little bit because I kind of went in a little too deep, so let's see if we can hang right here. I don't think there's anything that we can do, because now we're starting to lose a little bit of ground. Alright, when we come back around, it's going to be the white flag lap here in heat number 2. We were right there. We're really close to By the Bonnie, but I don't think we can do anything with him. 2 to go this time, but we're going to be coming around to the white flag to make one more lap here in heat number 2. So it's now or never for us. Let's see how far that we can go. I go way too high up the track, so that's possibly going to give By the Bonnie the door to win this. So out of turn 3 and 4, there's nothing we can do about it, but By the Bonnie will win stage 2, and we will come home in the second position. We tried, but just couldn't get to there. And it looks like Elio Castroneves is struggling, so that might be good for us. But let's see where the game puts us. I'm pretty sure By the Bonnie is going to end up going to the pole, and we're going to start second. But let's see what the game does. See how the game ends up putting us here for the main event, and we will start on the pole. Okay, well, I guess because of our win in heat number 1. So here we go. The main event is green. The 38th lap main event. So that puts us on the pole, and now we can really show what we're made of. So now By the Bonnie is now back there in second place. Let's see what we can do here on these first few laps. Let's also look over here too, because you will see that our tires are starting to wear a bit here. In fact, that's the thing, is that these tires that these guys run, you're not allowed to change tires unless you have unless one of your tires decides to get a puncture. Otherwise, you have to use these same tires, at least in the old rules, with this particular race. And if you thought that this race is going by pretty quick, wait till we get to Slinger. That's going to be that's going to be a really crazy event. It might even be where there might not even be any commentary for that, but who knows. Anyway, 35 laps to go, and now we have opened up a nice little gap here on By the Bonnie, with Scott Speed second, Bobby Santos the third is fourth, and Ernie Francis Jr. will be fifth right now. There's the grandstands over there on the right-hand side. And you know what's cool about Indianapolis Raceway Park is that it has an older surface that, has made for a lot of great races and also a lot of cool things. But one other thing too that this track is really neat about is the fact that there are tons of different short track divisions that come to this place to race and also hold their championship events or other sorts of events here as well. So it's a really fun track. If you get to go to it, go to it. It's cool. 32 laps to go now at the line. So as we continue to pull away here from By the Bonnie, I can tell you right now that when we get to Slinger Speedway and we get to the Nashville Fairgrounds, we're going to need to be really careful because we need a certain number of points in order to claim the championship. I don't think we'd be able to catch the Drivers' Championship, the championship right here, only because I don't think we accumulated enough points to do anything with it. But if Elio Castroneves is way in the back there, like he's not here in the top 5 or whatnot, my guess is that we'll get a big lead on Elio, and then when we get to Slinger, as long as we finish somewhere way above Elio, then we could go into the Nashville Fairgrounds with a major shot at getting that championship. But we'll have to wait and see. 29 laps to go at the line. But we've gotten better. We've absolutely gotten better in this series. Plus, I haven't even done that much practicing for this. I only did like maybe 6 or 7 practice laps just to see how the car feels. You know, just to kind of shake it down and see, like, you know, what we could do with it. So far, I've only had the one caution, and that was for somebody. I believe it was By the Bonnie who spun out earlier in the race. But now we're starting to slowly catch up to some lap traffic. And Slinger Speedway is going to be full of lap traffic for sure, because you guys will see it when we get there. It's going to be one crazy race. Nice and easy through the corners there. And now we got 26 laps to go. Let's also pull up this little graphic here to show you. Let's see how close we are to our original lap time, which was an 18:53. Let's see how we are coming across the line. We should. Whoa! Wow! Car got really loose coming off of that corner. Get a little bit freaky there. We're starting to catch up to some lap traffic, so we need to be really cautious here with trying to pass them. And, you know, it's funny to say lap traffic because, you know, with everybody in this field, you know, everybody here is some sort of legend. Whether they have won championships or maybe they have won races or something, I don't know. Let's see what happens here as we get through the corners. There's Willie T. Ribbs and Bill Elliott back there. Coming to the line now, we will have 23 laps to go. We're going to start to lap some cars here. So we're going to go up towards the high side. We're going to make short work of Willie T. Ribbs. Then we'll get up to Bill Elliott, who is Chase Elliott's father. Of course, we did a little profile on Bill Elliott, Awesomevale for Dawsonvale, and now he will go a lap down. And I see a red or orange blob up ahead of us, and I can't tell if that's Elio Castroneves or if that is Tony Stewart. I guess we'll find out once we get a little bit closer to him. But as you can see, everybody is now just kind of spread out here at this point. This is where the fun flag would absolutely come in handy to bunch up the field again and see what happens. And I'm starting to see it. It's looking more like a red car. I think that could be Elio Castroneves that's about to go a lap down to us. Let's see. Oh my god, it is. So Elio is struggling in this race. He's back here in the 10th position. So we'll make short work of him, hopefully. Oops, stop hitting the wall. Let's see what's here. We're going to go to the high side here. We're going to go high, wide, and handsome. Let's see what we can do here. Didn't mean to do that. Oh my god. Wow. Just that light tap screwed us up. But now we got some damage, but remember what I said about that fun flag? Well, that was the fun flag right there. So let's try this again. Green flag is back out. 19 laps to go now. So now we got a really smacked up nose, which is not good. But now this puts everybody right behind us again. But let's hope that this did not screw up anything. Here comes By the Bonnie to the bottom. By the Bonnie is going to take over the race lead. I think we may have killed our car, but take a look at the back end of By the Bonnie's car as we give him a nice little bump right there to get him out of the way. It was kind of wiggling like it does in real life. Whoops! God, this car is just... This car does not have the same get up and go like it did earlier, because I think we may have killed our tires. Let's see. Yep, we killed our tires and we killed the motor with that hit into the wall. So we're just going to have to see if we can survive for the last few laps here, and see if we can keep By the Bonnie behind us, if at all possible. Because then we could win with a really dinged up car. We got 16 laps to go. We should be able to hold him off, but you can see that the car is just slipping up the track a little bit. because those front tires are killed because of that spin, and also because of the fact that this car now just is just having a hard time. But let's see what happens here. We've done stranger things in the past. 15 laps to go now. By the Bonnie trying to make a move to the inside, not gonna get it done. Had to literally get out of the gas there. But I am shocked that we ended up spinning out so violently when we bumped Elio Castroneves. That is something that is very weird. Well, we can hold the middle side, we can hold the middle groove here, but it's really just a hard time. Just a really hard time right here. Nice through the corners. So we were able to pick up a little bit extra grip right there, but we're not running away like we were earlier. At least not too much. Ooh, the car just slipped up the track again. By the Bonnie and Scott Speed are just right there. They are just waiting for us to pounce. They're just waiting to pounce right now, but let's keep them behind us. In fact, our lap times have now gone a second slower than what we were used to. We were running 18.5s, now we're running 19.2s. Now I see that Scott Speed is trying to make a move to the inside up by the Bonnie, and he'll take that position away. 11 laps to go now. Yeah, we're now running 19.2s. But I'm sure that these other cars want to get by us. But we're now starting to get the field spread out, which is good news. But now By the Bonnie falls back, and Scott Speed's falling back just a hair, but he's right there. He's waiting for us to make a sudden move. We got 10 to go this time. But now we figured out something, because now there's a battle for second place between By the Bonnie and Scott Speed. So they're going to fight amongst themselves. And now they're going to catch up to the back bumper of us, because again, we had a very difficult time. Now we have 9 laps to go. I tell you, if we didn't have that issue with Elio, we would have been already in the winner's circle by now. But because we had that issue, it really screwed us over. Ooh, come on, baby, stay with us. 8 to go this time. Yeah, our lap times are slowing down tremendously. But so is everybody else's, because I think everybody else's tires are starting to just wear thin, and it's pretty weird at this point. So let's just see what happens here. Trying to make something happen as Scott Speed now goes to second place. We got 7 laps to go at the line. Let's see how much damage everything has. Oh my goodness, that's okay. There's the problems right there. So the radiator, the engine, as well as the aero are screwed up. So that's why our car has been so bad right now, and of course you can see our right side tires are almost gone. 6 laps to go at the line. But you know what? We've done this sort of thing before when we did the Xfinity Series, well, part of the Xfinity Series playthrough. So we still could win this thing. We just have to be really cautious, and just have to be really careful here and keep it down at the bottom. Coming to the line now, we have 5 laps to go, and we got a little faster there. We got a little bit better, which is good. Whoa, boy. Car getting really loose. It's a 3-way battle for the race lead, as By the Bonnie and Scott Speed are currently trading off second place. We're also going to catch some lap traffic, but I don't think it's going to be a bit of a problem. 4 to go now. But this race is nearly finished. But this has been one intense race here at IRP, as we had a big lead, and then we spun out, we hit the wall really hard, and the car right now is just wants to do something. It just wants to go all bad. But we are not going to let that happen, as we get very loose. By the Bonnie's now the closest that he's ever been to us. He's gonna try something on the high side to see what he can do, but I'm gonna use the rear end of this car to say no way, Jose. 2 to go at the line. Now, as long as we can just hold him off. Uh-oh, we slipped up the racetrack. Here comes By the Bonnie to the bottom. By the Bonnie found a way to get underneath us, so now we got to figure out how to get by him, if we can. But I don't think that's going to work. White flag is out. 1 more lap to go, presented by Ally Bank. And right there, Labonte had the line. There was just nothing I could do, because now the car is just slipping up the racetrack. And unfortunately, we're going to let this win go away from us, because there's nothing more I can do. Coming to the line, By the Bonnie will win his first SRX event of the year, and we will finish in second place, but we got some good points. Oh, man. That was a fun race, but I shouldn't have had that hit with Elio Castroneves. But you can see the finish order right here. Labonte won, we came home second, and Scott Speed came home in third. So good job for the rest of these guys. And at the back of the pack was Bill Elliott and Willie T. Ribbs. In the point standings, I'm pretty sure that we got some good points as well. Let's take a look-see. Okay. So, from the looks of it, let's see. It's still saying that we are first in the season standings, but that graphic right there shows that By the Bonnie would be in the point lead. But let's take a look at the season standings. No, let's not. Let's go right here. Oh, look at that. We now have a commanding lead ahead of Elio Castroneves because of our win from the first stage, or from the first deal. And then, of course, we finished second in both heats, or in both the heat and the actual race. So Elio Castroneves now has lost quite a bit of ground to us, which is just crazy. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, IRP was really, really cool. Alright, so our next race is Slinger Speedway. Let's take a look at the point standings really quickly again. Right now, as it stands, if we do really well at Slinger Speedway in the next video, we could wrap up the championship before we get to the Nashville Fairgrounds. That'll be a lot of fun. But that's going to do it for this episode. If you guys want to see more of this, make sure you hit the like button, don't forget to comment, and also subscribe. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, take care.